Where are you from? Kansas City. Yeah. Good evening. It is 6 o'clock, and we want to welcome you to the Trophy Club Council Workshop. And it's such a privilege for you to join us on YouTube, on Facebook, online, and it's best to be right in here in this room with us. So we also invite you to be with us. Thank you so much for being here, and we do have a quorum. And we are in a workshop until around 7 o'clock. And the purpose of tonight is the 2026 business plan always drives our workshops. So when you come to a workshop and you listen to our workshops, you know that we're here to help fulfill our business plan as well as it directs our decision making. And so tonight our focus is on the quality of life objective, and within there is the wayfinding and signage master plan. And that really, for me, when I think about that, we are in the process of branding Trophy Club to be one integrated look. And it's not a two-day job, it is long-term. But the time is now for us to get started because a lot of projects are going on in our town, which allows us to help to integrate our decisions into that and to also see that we're making some progress. So I look forward to this discussion because I know we all have different points of view and opportunities to bring this to a action. There is no action. However, I've been asked by our leaders that we want to come out of here with a general guidance and for a business plan with the right scope and the right scale. And that is what we're going to be focused on. And so this is Tamara's show. We're so happy you're here, Tamara. Thank you so much. And she has a consultant with her. Thank you so much.
All right, good evening, Mayor and Council. This evening work session, we'll be working through the Wayfinding Master Plan, which is one of our strategic initiatives, as the Mayor stated. Before we get into the master plan, I wanted to paint a picture of how we approached this project through a little storytelling. So the journey through Trophy Club with the visitor, the business owner, and the resident. So the first is the visitor. Maybe they are coming from a youth sporting event, meeting friends for dinner, or visiting family. They take the highway exit following the GPS and make the turn into town. They know their destination says Trophy Club, but they find themselves wondering, am I there yet? Where does Trophy Club actually begin? The second is the business owner. They have invested in our community and want customers, clients, and visitors to find them easily. As someone approaches town, that business owner wants Trophy Club to make an impression, one that says that it is a distinctive, established community and a place worth doing business. And the third is the resident. They make the drive every day. From them, arriving in Trophy Club is more than reaching a point on a map. It is coming home. They want to feel a sense of arrival and pride when they cross into the community. For many years, these three people shared the same and similar experience. Unless they noticed the highway exits, there wasn't always a clear moment that they told themselves, you're in Trophy Club. Now imagine this journey again, but this time the experience is different. They approach one of Trophy Club's 4 primary entrances, and a thoughtfully designed monument welcomes them into the community. The materials, the landscaping, the typography, and the branding immediately establish a sense of place. As they continue, directional and wayfinding signage carry themselves through the visual language throughout town. They don't just tell someone where to turn, they help the visitors find their destination. They connect customers with our businesses, they guide people towards our parks, our town facilities, our neighborhoods, and our community. And for residents, they reinforce the identity of the place that they call home. Each individual sign serves as a practical purpose, but together they do something much bigger. They tell the story of Trophy Club. That is what today's wayfinding work session is really about. It isn't simply about deciding what the sign should, where the sign should go. It is about designing the experience of arriving in, navigating through, and belonging to Trophy Club. Our opportunity is to create a system that feels upscale, cohesive, intentional, and unmistakably Trophy Club. From the moment someone crosses one of the 4 entrances to the moment they reach their destination. So as we work through today's discussion, I'd like us to keep those 3 things in mind: the visitor, the business owner, and the resident. What do we want each of them to see? What do we want each of them to experience? And how do we want them to feel when they come to Trophy Club? This is the scenario that the staff and Olson have used to create the master plan. We've worked with Olson throughout this whole thing, and they've reached out to our residents, our board members, our business owners, and our staff to create this master plan. They received the feedback from council and incorporated thoughtful design that both blended practical cost and upscale design. We've had the pleasure of working with Olson and their amazing team, and tonight we have Chris Callahan here to work you through the full Gateway, Water Tower, and Wayfinding Signage Master Plan.
And as Chris is coming forward, just one thing to keep us focused for today's conversation, reminding us that we are discussing the entire master plan tonight, right? The implementation of that plan, I would say, is an ongoing discussion in future years and budgets and you know, contracts that have to be approved and things like that. So our goal tonight is not necessarily to decide exactly which things we want to implement when and where and how, right? It is to say of the overall plan, how do we like that as far as its direction goes? And do we have any recommended changes before we bring you the final master plan for adoption?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you, Brandon and Tamara, and thank you, Mayor, for welcoming me tonight here. Again, my name is Chris Callahan. I'm with Olson. I'm a senior landscape architect, and I've been very excited to work with your team on this project. Purpose and vision. Quickly going over some of these, basically purpose, like Tamara mentioned, to create that unified identity, navigating through the town, strengthen that town's brand that has been established so far with your logo and so forth. We've added additional items and icons to that branding that I'll speak to here throughout the presentation. Vision, consistent architectural language. So working through that citizen input, materiality, working through your stakeholders of the type of signs, how big, the lighting and materials all coming together in that vision. The master plan components, so there's gateways, there's wayfinding, there's civic markers, there's park markers. The water tower branding is a part of that. The high school identity ties into that as well, celebrating the state championships, as well as the existing sign improvements and maintenance standards. So the master plan components, the main gateway locations, as everybody's familiar with, Trophy Lake Drive, Trophy Club Drive, Trophy Wood Drive, and then Bobcat Boulevard up north by the high school. Those are the main gateways. The wayfinding corridor is all the way throughout the community, and we'll highlight that here in a minute. What are some of those destinations? Parks, trailheads, civic facilities, and obviously the water tower locations. This is the overall map again. So the gateways, these are our key points of entrance, that main community identity as you come in, like Tamara so excellently described at the beginning, tying in the landscape, the masonry materials, brick and limestone, and then incorporating some of the logos and the brands that have already been established. Also highlighting the incorporation date of 1985 on the monuments as well. So that was a key little detail that we have added. These main 3 entrances are very similar in nature. I'm just going to kind of glance over them high level. There's both day and night views for each of these locations. Here's Trophy Lake on the west edge of 114 coming through here. All of these have 2 side columns on either side with a main blade sign in the middle. This one's smaller in nature, and then a nice nighttime view as well. I do want to point out all these entrances have a patriotic theme throughout that, and there's a cast stone or cut stone star behind it. The idea of that star is actually 5 to 6 feet tall, so it's quite large. There's some detailing to it and also illumination at night that can be a stagnant white or color changing, red, white, and blue, however you'd like to program it. Here's Trophy Club Drive, the middle entrance to the community. And each one of these gateways are a little bit different. They're similar materials, they're similar sizes, but they're a little bit different, and that is also part of the wayfinding description. As people come in, each entrance is a little bit different, so that oh, this is the main one, you know which one you're coming into, or this one's a little smaller, or vice versa. Another nighttime view of the Trophy Club entrance here. And then Trophy Wood. This one is a little bit more pedestrian scale with the restaurants and the commercial activity right there, so we changed it up a little bit. Either side has a little gateway, pedestrian gateway for people to walk through, and then a smaller center column. The constraints of that median are a little tighter, and so we scaled that down a little bit, so we could include that branding in there. And then nighttime views of Trophy Wood. Bobcat's a little bit different. It's up on the north side. It's kind of a back entry into the community. And so we have two side columns on either side of the right-of-way. But we did not feel like it needed a main entrance or main median monument at this location. As we work through this process, the idea of maybe an alternate approach would be, and instead of doing a large center median element blade sign, could we get away with the same feeling as two side columns? And these columns are the same size as presented earlier, but it swapped out the center median element for more landscaping. And this landscape design is based off of Chase's master plan initially that has some of the material already called out with boulder placements and so forth. So it's tying into that element. The columns did get updated on each one of these, and it does include the Trophy Club name on the sides. So it does, with the main median blade signs had the main signage there. We are incorporating more signage into these columns for this alternate option. Wayfinding, obviously, as Tamara described earlier, getting through the community can be a challenge at times. Yes, Google Maps and everybody, it's nice to use and all that, but from a pedestrian standpoint, from walking through and tying that community together, we wanted to be able to pull together a wayfinding plan that identifies those parks, trails, schools, and civic facilities along the way. And I will hit a kind of glance over all these. There's, I think, 18 total locations for the wayfinding. Everything from the country club, the town center, Harmony Park, the Grove, fire station, Skyline Park, Linear Park, the Mud, Town Hall, obviously, Town Center, Medland Cemetery, Independence Park, Byron Nelson High School, Samuel Beck Elementary, the middle school, Independence Park, Lakeview Park. So a lot of the parks are some of the main destinations in here.
Where's Skyline Park? Where's Skyline Park?
The trailhead.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Well, that's, okay. We don't have that as
And then some additional up at the northwest corner by the high school. More there, and then north up by the Freedom Dog Park and Trophy Club Park. Just a quick touch base on part of our scope included some water tower concepts and water tower designs. These are exploring a lot of different themes. The patriotic theme you can see here, and the lighting of what could happen here. You know, if there's restrictions of, can we do the whole tower or just the top? Do we play off of the golf aspect of the community and so forth, and or really create some unique lighting? And that bottom right one really is starting to highlight some of the logos and so forth, and the next one even more. So this was a really cool idea that you keep your tower intact, but maybe we put a perforated panel, perforated design on the outside that is very artistic during the day, and you see that, but at night it glows and shows this perforated pattern.
FAA will love that.
Yes, probably. Alternately, the water tower at the northwest corner by the high school, I understand, it does have the Bobcat logo up there right now, but is there more that we can do? Maybe there's some claw marks and claw tire, so forth. We did do a quick option of the footprint, but that seemed a little elementary schoolish, so we really highlighted the big claw marks and fierce competitive aspect of the high school. We did a couple high-level high school signs, how they could tie into this signage and wayfinding package. And I think one of the concerns that came out of the high school, we met with them, is celebrating those state championships. How can we do that? How can we make it a legacy for them and those individuals? And so we came up with two ideas here, two different ideas of highlighting the logo and the name of the school, and then those individual state championships. We also reviewed some of your existing town signage. And like a lot of communities, things can be added over time, and before you know it, you have a cluster of signs that not everybody knows what they're for or why they're there, and so forth. So all the main entrances have a lot of signage right at the entrance. And some of it's the irrigation, the population, the water district. There are state championships right at the entrance right here. So one of the recommendations is cleaning up a lot of that signage at the front and really condensing it in its appropriate areas. There's other signage as well. The video boards was a hot topic that we talked about in the stakeholder. I think the overall consensus for that is I think the video boards are appreciated and people like them. The question is it the best location coming off of the highway right there? We measured the time of viewing, and it's 3 to 4 seconds is as you drive by. Is that worth it? Could it be placed at a park or another place where you have more stoppage and more break time to actually see the messages and take in account of those video boards? So I think the overall message is relocating them to places that are safer and wouldn't be a distraction for drivers.
You read them when you depart, when you're stuck at the red light.
The one on Trophy Lake for sure, yeah.
Sure.
You're stuck at the red light more often these days.
Just put them on Trophy Club Drive towards the school.
The traffic.
So these are some of those recommendations I just mentioned. Relocate the state championship signs, remove some of the unnecessary entry signs, relocate the video messenger sign, just reduce that overall clutter is the intent. We also visited all the stop signs, and there are a lot of different signs that have gone in the community over the years. So I think the overall consensus is to bring that up to its current design standards and make it all uniform. Standard maintenance, try using low maintenance materials, incorporate long life LEDs. LED lighting is here. And it lasts a long time. So replacing those older bulbs with the new technology, low maintenance landscaping. The material that Chase and his team are pulling together for these medians is a great example of that sustainable effort and using that material. Biannual inspections of some of the more intricate components, the lighting components, watching structures, just making sure things are clean, protecting finishes and so forth. Landscaping is a big one, just making sure landscape is trimmed back and everything is visible. Now to the fun part. We've dove into some initial high-level opinion of probable costs, and we have all of those highlighted here. Trophy Club Drive is first. This is the middle one off Highway 114, and this has the larger column up front. So this is one of the more expensive ones. Subtotal came in just over 600,000. At this level, we have to put a pretty high level contingency at it because we haven't dove through the design yet and so forth. So there's a 20% design contingency. So that bumped that number up to 765. This is based on our current experience in the market. I'd like to say materials and costs are coming down, but they're not. It's more of an aggregate of how hungry certain contractors are and the timing of that. Trophy Lake. This one is very similar to Trophy Club, but it doesn't have that center column. So that one's a little bit less. Subtotal came in at 516 and total down to 619. Trophy Wood, the next one down. Again, these are smaller scale elements. Subtotal 482 and total package of 578.
That includes the blade signs and the center signs, right?
Yes, this includes, so
As
each,
we're looking at the picture.
as you're looking at the picture, it includes everything you're seeing. And that includes the stars in the background. That includes all the masonry, the columns, landscape material, lighting, all that's in there. And I think as we get to the next phase and start prioritizing these and phasing these, I think there's some economy of, working with the budgets and trying not to do one at a time. If you can bind these together, there's more efficiency and more cost effectiveness to bring a contractor in at once and do as much as possible.
On average, what do design fees run as a percentage? Just
As a
curious.
percentage,
Yeah.
8 to 10%.
Say 10, okay.
And that's not part of the 20% contingency.
And that is, the design fees are not included in our current estimate. The last one to highlight here is Bobcat Boulevard up north, and this just has the two side columns with landscaping. Subtotal around 190 and just over 200,000 for total.
So if you were to break this out, if I look at the streetscape items, so Trophy Club Drive, 545K, is that for the monuments, or is that for monuments plus A, B, C, and D?
When you say A, B, C, and D,
So, well, streetscape, 545.
yep.
Is that just for the, so how is this price broken down? So is
So
that 545 for the monuments and construction of the monuments and road changes and all that?
Correct. It's all the hardscape items. So it's all the columns, it's all the signage, it's all the lighting. It includes the stars in this one. The landscape would be a separate line item. So there's boulders in there, the landscape material, all that would be separate.
Okay, I'm going to kind of cut to the chase a
Yep.
minute, because we only have 30 minutes. And I know that we as a council has looked at this, and I think, I'm not certain, but we've agreed that the centerpiece is, we're eliminating that.
Okay.
That changes the cost a great deal. In addition to that, so if we eliminate that, and also there was talk about eliminating until further notice the entrance at Trophy Wood Drive because of the ongoing unknown about our site plan. There's no need to put something there when we don't know what that's going to look like. So those are three big elements.
Correct.
That are going to be reduced. And then, so my question is, if that's the case, we're looking at the columns on this, I'm calling them monuments. How much are they individually?
So this.
So we
that-
have to have 6, I guess.
So this alternate option right here, that is on the screen right now,
Okay, got it.
is that basic. It is shown at one of, I believe it's shown at Trophy Club Drive, but it could be repeated at each one. And so
Okay.
the quantities would basically be very similar. The median is a little bit smaller down at Trophy Wood, but overall, it'd be general in nature.
But we wouldn't have Trophy Wood. We'll have.
Correct. I'm sorry, yes, you just have the
I'm
two.
just wanting to be sure. We're looking at really Trophy Lakes, Trophy Drive, and Bobcat.
Yes.
Yeah,
Those
and
three.
that gets down to the implementation part of this,
Correct.
right? So
I mean,
the
that's right.
implementation can be however we want to do that. I think what we're trying to get here is that there's maybe what we'll call the full version, right? And then
Yes.
there is the pared down
Okay,
version.
good.
Both of them trying to keep the elegance of the project intact, while also being sensitive to, these are high dollar amount projects.
Yeah.
And sometimes we want to make sure that we're doing that as effectively as possible.
Okay, I
And
just,
not
I
all the
wanted to keep
council
us.
agrees with that trophy wood.
What I was gonna add is I would like, can we adopt the master plan as a design guide, basically, separate and apart from, like you said, the implementation, which would also include, not including the cost estimates, obviously, in the plan, because the cost estimates will be determined when the parts of the plan are
Sure.
executed. Is that kind of generally the direction we wanna head with this?
Yeah, if you wanted to do it that way, what we would do is just ask them for a side report, right? Have the master plan with a side report of opinions of probable costs.
Okay.
That way we could at least have a basis to use that from, but it wouldn't necessarily need to be part of the plan for sure.
So
Yeah.
tonight, we don't talk about cost at all. We talk about plan, what we want. what we,
I
what we-
think it's
what
important-
we envision having.
Yeah, you can never get too far away from cost,
know,
right, at the end of the day. But
still we got an
I
idea,
think it's
we have an
important to
idea.
realize you're adopting the vision,
Correct.
and then how you implement, that vision right now has two options for you. If you would like more options than that in the vision, we can certainly take that feedback and figure out ways to be able to do that. Right now, we've tried to give you two versions, the full version, the alternative version for that, and that's something for the council to work through in implementation, not necessarily something you have to work through right at this moment.
Exactly. Okay, good. Thank you. Any other comments, questions? Are you finished? No, you're not.
I think we have a few more.
Yeah, just one comment that
Yes.
I'm not in agreement with taking the median out, so you know. It's
Okay.
not a consensus.
Taking the median out,
discussion.
meaning what?
Meaning
Monument.
removing the full
The big one?
part of the plan and only going with the alternative option.
Yeah,
You're
that's
talking
fine.
about the blade.
The middle
blade
piece.
sign.
The blade
Correct.
sign, the center median piece.
The middle piece. The middle piece.
Just to answer, well, to answer a couple of these questions, I think there's a couple different ways you can approach this as well. Yes, you could make the decision in the future only to do the alternate. There are ways that, as in the bidding process, we could do one of these,
Yeah.
design it,
Right.
and then have alternatives, alternates. So we could get that pricing back,
Yeah.
and in the right economy, in the right time, that might
Can add
become
it in.
very attractive and be like, that's worth our time.
Perfect.
It could come back high, and all of a sudden, we're not gonna select that median, and we're gonna go with the alternate. So I think there's ways to work through this, and I will share on other projects, these are competitive items, and it depends on the current climate, and I have experience with contractors coming in very affordable, and then all of a sudden, things are included that normally wouldn't have been included.
Just for clarification, not to stay on cost, but as far as money goes, where it would be coming from, that's currently maybe available in the hot funds.
Correct, yeah.
All right, so it's not like we need to go out
Well,
and
some-
bond, it's not like we need to go into debt in the general fund or whatever. So really, we're just how to,
No, I
That's
don't,
not true.
No,
that's what
let's,
I'm trying to get clarified.
I think Brandon haven't you worked out where
There's a
those
percentage.
sources are
Yeah.
coming from?
Yep,
That's
yep,
what I'm trying to
yes.
get to.
So if, let's see, let's take a look at a full sign real quick. That might help us, and then we'll go to the alternate option here. So if you're on the full sign version of this, remember that the hotel occupancy tax hot funds are to be used for certain things, right? Heads and beds can also be used for wayfinding signage. On that, I think we can probably justify all the pillars in this one. This one, actually, a lot of the project becomes eligible for, I think, hot tax fund use for it on a project like this. Okay, you might have some elements here, the stars and things like that, that you might back off of that and do only the other sources of funds, not hot tax funds for that one. But if you go down, now go to the alternate option. If you go to the alternate options on it, the issue here is that whole center median, right, and the stars really don't become part of a wayfinding sign package on it. And so you need to be sensitive to the idea that hot tax might not be the appropriate use for the center area. However, it would clearly do the outsides as well, or do the outsides with the hot tax,
Right.
where you have the pillars and the landscaping around the pillars.
So I've been studying up on this quite a bit. If you go back to the blade sign, that's considered a monument. Monuments are not included in hot tax, period. It has to have a wayfinding sign on it. And I talked to the municipal league about this quite a bit. And, I mean, it's nice, don't get me wrong, but heads and beds and how it aligns with the hot tax, I can't find anywhere in the document where it says that would have, that could actually come out of hot funds.
Sure, yeah, no, this is definitely in that category of, there are plenty of municipalities that use their hot taxes for the exterior wayfinding signage. That's how they'll classify it, right? The ones that we're looking at right here for it. Is it a gray area? It is on it. Does it explicitly state that part of it? No, for it. But we do have plenty of examples of other cities that use the hot tax for that type of a sign.
And so what other sources would our financial support come from?
Sure. So the other source that is the primary source that we would turn to would be the equipment, the capital replacement, equipment replacement funds that we have. Remember, we set aside money at the end of each year.
Right.
In those types of categories. So those are the same funds that are used to replace vehicles and or repair buildings, things like that around town. that source would be able to accommodate whatever area we have there.
But it would not allow us then to do those things that we're potentially thinking about, vehicle replacement, whatever that is.
That's correct. That's
I mean,
the
there's only
flip side of it.
X
Correct.
amount, that's
Exactly.
right.
That's the flip side of it. Exactly, yes. Mhm.
I think there's a lot of, I mean, you know what, this is nice, I love it, but I just, Clark's opinion, and it is my opinion, and it's probably not shared by all, but there's a lot of things that we could spend money on that would take precedence to saying we're Trophy Club.
What would that be?
Well, there's plenty of work that can be done if we're gonna have to go to general funds for parks and things of that nature. You know, I've spent quite a bit of time talking to constituency in the town, and, I mean, kind of the perception that I got is they want a closed sign there, if you just want to know the truth of it. I mean, that's the comments I'm getting is, can we put do not enter? Can we put closed up there, closed for business? But, you know,
Truth.
parks carry a lot of weight, a lot of people use them, even outside. And when we start looking at heads in beds, we don't really have a whole lot that puts heads in beds. We have sporting events and occasionally Trophy Club Park for somebody riding motorcycles or something of that nature. So it's a, you know, I mean, it's a tough decision. So,
Yeah, and as you can see, a large portion of our plan is dedicated towards directing people to our parks for it, and that, it gets back to just that point right there, right? What are our destinations that we have that are related to heads and beds and things like that? And while it's not a huge number of people that come here to stay for, you know, our parks and things like that, we know that it does happen, and it is part of the contributions for that fund.
definitely agree with that. I've ran into people on the trails out there that spent the night here, have dinner in Roanoke or, you know, Trophy Club, and they go out and ride for the day.
Absolutely.
So I think that's certainly justifiable.
But you could use, as it was mentioned a little while ago, we just need a plan. And then once you have the plan, then the implementation, and it doesn't have to be done all in one time frame. It can be, I'm gonna use the word staggered, depending upon availability of funds. Remember, if you do that, future councils get a chance to say, yes, oh, that's ugly, we're not gonna do that anymore. All right, so you're playing, we have a tendency, one of the reasons we have so many different designs in this town is each council designs it differently. So that's a negative to putting it off. But it is a positive to have the general plan. And I'm trying to get past these entry signs, because I don't like the price, to say the interior signs. For an example, like on the page, I've already lost it.
Well, how about on,
We have it
You know,
up.
the
This is
individual,
this one
but
here.
Yeah, and my question there is, I'm driving down Trophy Club Drive at 30 miles an hour. Can I read those things?
We,
I know we're looking at a picture
Yep.
microcosm,
Yep,
but in
yep.
reality, is it
we
readable?
have examples of similar ones, but that would also be fully designed and make sure that the panels are large enough. They're not going to increase that much bigger than this, because you still need to walk by them, and you don't want these huge fins
I don't
coming
need
off
to
the side.
knock my head on them.
Exactly. So, yes, the legibility of it will be fully studied and made available so that it passes the eye test.
Okay. And just a side note for Brandon, and I don't want to spend any money on this with Wayfinders, is to include realtor, uniform realtor sign,
we-
and any other sign we have in the neighborhood. That's
so
a-
what do you mean you don't want to spend money on Wayfinders? What
Well,
are you talking
I'm not asking Wayfinder, Olson
Oh,
to go
oh,
back and
to
spend
the-
money to,
about? Oh, the real estate side. Oh,
but I'm just saying that if we have other signs,
I was mixed up. I didn't,
can-
okay, yeah.
So Ben, help me understand what you're talking about, realtor signs. I know what they
No,
are.
no.
But what is your point on that?
well, every realtor has a different sign. Some of them are crappy, some of them are very nice, and some of them need to be repainted. And there are towns in this area that have, you must use this uniform sign. You can put your own sign in it, but the frame and everything is uniform and consistent throughout the town.
Yeah, that's been visited, and that's kind of on the table
Yeah,
for
okay,
last 2 years.
I wasn't trying to get sidelined,
Yeah.
I just put that there.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, this would be, to me, more important to get through the town and start getting the uniformity from the different sides of town together before, with the gigantic money being spent on entry signs.
I'm wondering if those monuments need to be, that's 6 feet tall?
7 feet of.
7
They're
feet.
7 feet tall. They're taller
When
than
I
a
think of
person.
18 of those around our little town, that's pretty big. So I'm wondering, could the design be different and still maintain the purpose? Because I think 7 feet's
I
pretty
think-
tall.
I appreciate the comment. At a high level master plan, this is where we've come in. We've done similar signs like this. In the next phase, we can definitely look at the right scaling and
Okay.
become skinnier and whatnot. I will share a similar example is light poles. And everybody loves decorative lighting. Well, if you actually get a light fixture next to you, the light fixture is this tall.
Yes.
But you don't realize it's that big because it's on top of a pole. So I think we can skinny them up, but all of a sudden, going by at 30 miles an hour, all of a sudden, they're gonna look like little twigs. So there's a right sizing of it, and I think we will definitely make that work.
So what, am I hearing you say you're not interested in the front entrance pieces?
I'm not saying I'm not interested, I'm mixed.
Okay.
I'm on Clark's side, they're too damn expensive. I'm on Sean's side, that's a great entryway.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna fall in the middle, I don't wanna spend that type of money. But there's gotta be, I don't wanna say
Well,
alternative. right?
At what point does this town decide to do something that the term really is beautification, bringing us into a common look that, just like Tamara said, invites people into our town, knowing they're in Trophy Club?
Mayor,
So there's a sense of that.
I'm gonna disagree with the comment that a common look brings in people. How do we know that?
I'm not saying it brings them in. I'm saying it's a statement of our town. So,
I'm not following the statement. I mean, I go to South Lake for a reason. I don't look at,
yeah, because the statement is South Lake Square. That's their statement.
I'm not following that logic.
That's who they are.
Well, I go to a lot of places in South Lake, not just South Lake Square.
I know, but South Lake Square is it.
So the other alternative to be discussed is, as I said, if you had a master plan like this, and you're gonna break it out over several years, the different councils are gonna spend money or not spend money, they're gonna change it, they're gonna change
Right.
the design. You know, I drove by it today, and the sprinkler systems created ruined your beautiful white stone. So I'd like to see it put together as one package. Okay, even if it's just the alternative, okay? Put together as a one package and break it out on how you're gonna pay for it. This can come out of hot funds, comes out of the park fund for landscaping or whatever. So that we could take a look at it and implement it as one. And I'm not saying I'd vote for it that way, but that's where my mind's on.
Are there other comments?
Yeah, I do. Number one, I do love the concept, I love the idea. I think beautification of entrances is huge. In regards to the concern of where would we spend the money, my thing is, when you go back to that picture, that stop sign, where it was it green bottom, black top?
Oh,
That,
the
is
stop
that,
sign.
is that, yeah, or that was a light.
That one, keep going.
Light pole, I believe. Yeah, there we go. One of the things is we have generations of lighting in our town through the decades that we've grown. And one of the things is I'd like to see is, all the street lights painted all at once. Some of those street signs, lights, haven't seen a lick of paint since they were installed 15 years ago. Same thing with fire hydrants, right? The ones at Turnberry look beautiful that they just did, but the rest of the town ones just don't look good. And when we get down to where I'm at, is like, let's get some of the basics knocked out first. I think this is something we can still work on. I do like Sean's idea of the blade at the beginning, that is very pronounced, right? I love the red, white, and blue star concept behind it. We put a lot of work into this. And I think we're getting there. Like Dennis, I want to know how much it's going to cost. So I was going to actually ask the question, for every 100,000 we spend, how much can I pull out of HOT? Because when we talk about taking money from other areas, I'm robbing Peter to pay Paul. So, somebody doesn't get a vehicle or a piece of equipment to take care of this town. So I still think there's a lot of work. Still got a lot of great ideas kicking around here, and I still think it needs more work.
So we want a
Just-
plan.
Well, and just to be clear, the part that needs more work, I believe what I'm hearing is, the part that needs the work is the implementation version of this. It's not the vision that's been set out is not in line with what we'd like to try and achieve on that. Am I interpreting that part correctly?
I think for the most part, I mean, I have a couple things I'm gonna bring up,
Sure,
but they're
yeah.
not, small items. Gary, were you good?
Yeah, I just want to get comfortable with the funding. That's my big thing.
Yeah.
Yep. No, I agree with that for sure. I think, I want to, that's why I asked about, obviously, plan versus implementation, because I want to approve a plan that establishes kind of a design that we can follow, a template we can follow. Dennis is right that, plans can always change, but at least we will have done our part there. But I don't want to, include the cost estimates in the plan that we go forward with, if for no other reason than, I mean, $229,000 for two pillars is, I'm not voting for that. I'm just not gonna do it. I don't think that's what people sent me here to vote for. But obviously, the stuff that can be funded by HOT is a different conversation and is, something that we should chase down. So we can address that later, but I definitely want to get the design language out there. That way, we have a roadmap and we can chip away at the roadmap, eat the elephant one bite at a time. I'm not crazy about the water tower stuff.
Oh, not at all.
It's big, it's splashy, it's probably hard to actually execute. I'd feel better if the water tower stuff was just omitted from the plan, personally.
I
Actually,
was going to take a
think-
different approach on the water tower.
Well, I think that the water tower, though, begins to involve the mud, wouldn't it? Because we have two different water towers. One, the mud would have to agree to paint theirs, isn't that correct? And we would have to agree to paint ours.
Well, the other, but who knows what is gonna be in water towers by the time this gets to be.
That's true, too.
Part of implementation.
Yeah, it just feels like it's just extra for
I do
sake
too.
of,
Yeah.
for sake of extra.
Yeah, we certainly can, again, I think that might, going back to the whole idea of like side reports, right?
Right.
Maybe we just have a
Right.
side report that says, we analyze this, here are some options.
Things we
right?
looked
So that
at.
That way, in case the conversation comes up in the future, we're not starting from zero, we're starting from.
It's in the
somewhere else.
backup.
And-
plan.
Yeah.
and-
You looked at it.
Just curious, what's the cost to paint a water tower? Just throw a number at me, just 100 grand?
I don't have that, I'm sorry.
The reason why I bring that up is when I was running for office, and Kevin Clark actually called this out last year at a joint meeting, that I met with a couple of the board directors over there, Neil Tomney and Mr., was it Bill Reese? And they said that the MUD has the ability to fund community projects, right? And I think the MUD painting and water tower would be a great community project for them to give back. I love the design with the scratches on the bottom with the blue. And I was like, my thought was when I saw that, I thought that was great, especially over there by the high school, right? And then before you get to the top, you got the Bobcat logo, and on the top, you had the Town of Trophy Club, our new logo with the Texas Town of Patriotism. I thought kind of like that kind of red, white, bluish would look pretty good, but I'd love for the MUD to pay for it. So Kevin, if you're listening, I need you to write a check.
I would also like to make a comment regarding the monument for the school, if you'll go there. Actually, I have actually just spoken to the mayor in Roanoke in talking about this being a joint project, because not only Byron Nelson serves 3 other towns. And not only that, we'll find money from parents. And if they want something like this, because basically the parents are the ones who come to the town, they come to us, they go to Roanoke, wanting their children's championship name up there. Well, let's put it out there like that. Now, that would be complicated in terms of placement, but that's for another conversation.
That was $300,000, right?
So
These
put
signs
that
you're showing
aside.
For the school are not on town property. These are school
On school
property.
property.
So this is just a
That's right.
recommendation to the school.
It's just tying in our current design
Not,
into,
has nothing to do with the town as far as what the school would want to.
I even
Well,
spoke
then.
to the principal, Byron Nelson, and she said, yes, go out and do fundraising, get the parents involved in this whole project.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, for that very reason, I don't know if I would want to include anything in the master plan that has to do with the school, but again, it would
I
just be
agree.
an
Maybe a
artifact.
side- maybe a side
We
report.
need to have a collection of
agree.
artifacts that we have on hand
Yeah.
if there's something that ever comes up, but I think our plan needs to be properly scoped, just
Great.
things that we can control. So I'm fine on all that. And I did mention the water towers. I would prefer to see that removed. I'm also not crazy about those stars. They seem kind of gaudy to me. Now, if we want to turn them blue whenever the Cowboys win and let everybody know that
Like never,
Well, they'll never light
That won't
up.
take
Eagles,
much.
Philadelphia Eagles
We'll
fans
save a
aren't
ton of
welcome here.
electricity.
2031.
Yeah, it's true. You may only have to turn them on like 6 times a year. But no, but for real, it's just like a big giant chunk of masonry that just kind of looks, I don't know, just going to cost a lot of money and sit out there in the weather. I don't know. That's just my personal opinion. It's only aesthetics, so I'm not going to. It's just the only other thing I had, though. I think generally the concept is good, the style is good, the idea is good. Question is just how do we set the stage and then decide how we can fund it and to what degree.
Go back to that trophy wood, if you would, please. Why does it have that arch there?
arch walkway.
I mean, where'd that,
It's for pedestrian, so you think of this as the Grove at Trophy Club,
what I'm
and so
thinking, yeah.
walkability was
Okay.
a large thing, and so this just ties into the
okay,
walkability.
Yeah, the theme of this entrance was not as much about the vehicles as it was about the pedestrian experience.
Correct.
And
Okay.
that-
More
and
than
that's why.
Got it.
walking experience.
yeah.
Correct.
yeah. Okay, which would be kind of.
But obviously, that is a future goal
Yes,
for
it
us,
is,
right? One that
yeah.
is not there today,
Right.
and one that we need to work in creating.
Right. And then the monument inside to the left of that, those are lights, a monument with
The
lights?
center median one has dual light fixtures
Yeah.
on either side.
Again, those are all features that,
Right.
if you don't like the lights, then that when we design it, we can remove the lights during that time as well, so.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a few things. One, as you look at the water towers, a question came to my mind as to whether we have brand confusion. Are we a golf town? Are we the Texas town of patriotism?
Bar-
Are we a great place to call home? How do we make sure that we try to sync those things? So that's just a thought, but that's the first thought that I had when I saw that. And I love what Tamara said at the beginning, to try to maintain a perspective of all the audiences that are going to see this thing. So the business owners for sure would not want a closed for business sign, just for the record. And then one of the things I want you to keep in mind is the removal of the Village of Trophy Club that's in front of Meet You Anywhere Barbecue. I know that's the developer and blah, 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 but just get permission and we'll go out and take it off ourselves.
Well, yeah, that and/or remove the wall, because Brandon and I were talking about it.
Give me a sledgehammer.
You could remove the wall and wouldn't miss a thing.
So,
Yeah,
but
again,
wouldn't cost them
it is on
anything.
private property, privately owned.
But
on
it
that
wouldn't cost them anything to remove that wall.
One question, when we put these numbers together, like the 765,000, we talk about moving the video signs. Is that number in here? How much is it to move a video sign?
Well, realistically, we wouldn't just be moving a video sign, we'd be redesigning,
Okay.
consistent with this look and that new rebuild part of it. So that number we don't have, but you're in the, you're kind of seeing the general numbers here of kind of what things look
How much
like.
did it cost to, Ryland, how much did it cost to rebuild it when it got hit that one time?
Oh, goodness, great. Well, probably 5 times. Oh, I'm sure five digits probably, but yeah. It's another great reason why they should be moved.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it just goes back to the idea that they currently have a useful life to them, right? As we're nearing the end of that useful life, if we have not relocated it by then, that would be a great opportunity for us to just
I
find a
love
different
them,
place
so.
for it, so.
I always
Not
want to see
being
the mayor's face
What?
on the video signs.
Yeah, inviting me
Have
for
breakfast with
coffee.
Tiffany.
Yeah.
So let's wrap this up in such a way that you tell us, Tamara, what the next step will be, please, and what we're going to do.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. So our next steps will be to take back all of your feedback. We will bring a full master plan back to you to approve or hear back any more feedback from you. But what we're looking at is trying to finalize this master plan, and then the start of fiscal year '27 will start with that Phase 1 implementation. So we'll bring it back for more discussion. So the next option is for us to just take your feedback and then bring back a full master plan with all of your feedback.
Okay.
Yeah, and what I'm basically hearing, because the draft plan that we have right now, really the only differences here are doing side reports.
Yes.
Right, I saw a lot of head nodding, or head nods while that was being discussed, so if you're okay with the idea of putting those in side reports, so OPCs, opinion of probable cost, I'm sorry, water tower, and ISD monument, kind of the offshoots items of this, right, put those in side reports. The master plan itself that you would adopt, so I don't really hear any, consensus changes on what we have there, right? Having various options for you to consider, the locations, things like that. I think everyone's okay with those ideas. There are some fine tuning that would need to happen in design to make sure letters are big enough and things like that. That's all design elements. We'll make sure, and we can even make sure to address that in the plan itself to make sure that those items are checked during the actual design process itself.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because it was mentioned by a handful of folks. It would be good because Dennis again makes the point, which is really the most salient point of all this, which is some portion of this is going to get picked up by another group of people, probably. If it's included somewhere in the plan, how the roadway and travel speed and sizes and dimensions all go into sizing something, that would probably save 20 minutes of conversation at every subsequent meeting that it ever gets brought up. So,
Other comments? Sean, anybody? Dan? Steve? So, my next question is, when might something like this come back to us?
Beginning of September.
I was going to say, probably
Fairly
not the
quickly.
next meeting, but probably the meeting after
Yeah.
that.
Okay,
First
good.
meeting is
Perfect.
September,
Okay, okay, good.
fairly quickly.
Move this on.
Yeah.
Good, okay. Thank you. Anybody? Got it?
good.
Thank you, Chris.
Well, thank you, everybody.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
6:51, adjourn. What?
I was trying to.
Trying to gavel it.
Out of money.
Beat you to it. It's fun to start a new job, too.
It is too. It's just good for your mind.
Yeah.
7 o'clock.
Time's up.
Wait a minute, where's my? What time did you say it was, Gary?
It's 7:00.
It is 7 o'clock, and we want to welcome you to our Trophy Club Town Council meeting. This is August the 10th, already mid-August just about, and it's, we do have a quorum. And again, I want to say thank you for joining us online as well as on whatever it is on YouTube. We appreciate you joining us and staying connected to what's going on in town, because that way you know what's happening and you also know who you can call to ask for some help. Thank you so much again, and would you please stand for the pledges? Oh, I'm sorry for the invocation.
That's fine, I'm ready. I was gonna pledge.
I signed Gary had agreed to do the pledges.
Yeah. He should.
And so I
He
said,
should. It's about time he's patriotic. I'm really excited for this
About time
part
he
of Gary to
pitched in.
come out. Love of country's been lacking. Him and Sean both, man.
Yeah.
I know,
Yeah.
well, Sean, Dennis,
No, I'm kidding. Here we go.
Clark,
Let's pray. God, thanks for this team of people in front of me. They're hard workers and they got integrity and we love them. And I pray we just have a great meeting tonight. Thank you for our town. Help us be super grateful, man. We got it so good. Help us be good neighbors and love people well. And thank you for our staff and just the way they work hard and do their best. And I just pray they feel supported and appreciated. And thank you for those that protect us. Man, we're grateful. Safe town and just, man, they just love people well, and it shows. And so thank you for Trophy Club. Continue to bless us and help us to be good neighbors and help us to treat people right. It's through Jesus that I pray. Amen.
thank you, Joel.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you,
Amen.
thank you very much, Joel. I think, Joel, I mentioned the last time, I think the last time you were here, went directly to the pledges. There you go.
Hey, you're the mayor. Do whatever you
I
want.
guess I am. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you. All right.
We do not have anybody signed up to speak
Oh.
under public comment, Mayor.
Man, I'm telling you what. Okey dokey, we will then go to the community spotlight. And Lillian? Would you like to come up here,
Yeah.
please? And Patrick? Okay.
Hello.
Hey.
So, you are on. This is our community spotlight, and this is Lillian and Patrick.
All right.
Go on.
I'm in desperate need of a new kidney. This has been going on for quite a while. I crossed over. There are only certain things that I have to do to stay alive, and one of them is to make sure that I get a kidney. I have two options: a new kidney or a kidney from someone who donates me a kidney as a cadaver kidney, or I'll be at Baylor Scott and White every other day until I die, doing dialysis for how many hours?
3 to 4 hours per session, 3 sessions per week.
And so I'm standing here. I don't ask any of you to be cut to do this, but I have a wonderful family, a husband who decided that Baylor Scott and White wasn't doing what we needed for specifically me. This man made a website, and the only person in this website is me. We've given away now over 200 of these shirts for free. We've passed out these. We ordered 2,500. This is all we have now. So we're doing our part. If you would join us, all you have to do, I'm not asking you for a kidney, share the information. And when I get one, I'm telling you right now, Trophy Club will not see me walking down the street with nothing but a smile. It's been hard, but those of you who do have the information, I've never had, well, I did have alcohol one time. It was a teaspoon. I've had great water. I've lived in several countries. I have wonderful children. I have a great-grandchild that I haven't seen. I have 2 genetic children, a son and a daughter. I have not seen my son my firstborn in almost 5 years because I can't go to him. He can't come to me. I'm not begging. I'm just saying if your heart beats and says, we got to do something, or I've got to do something, please do. And if nothing happens, thank you for allowing me to sit in here with you all. Chief, this is amazing.
Yeah, he's your neighbor.
I know. Well, we're not supposed to tell people business.
Oh, of course.
Tiffany, now. Because I don't need you telling them my business. No, ma'am.
Patrick failed to tell us that you
But,
live in Churchill Downs. Yeah.
I'm a very, I don't like to share things like this, so I've gone through things that most of you would never survive. And this was the first time at 66 years old, I finally have to come outside of, I'll do it, I'll do it, I'll do it. I have 5 siblings. I've done things for thousands of people. I've lived all over the world, and no one has offered me a kidney except one lady. She offered me a kidney. She was a perfect match. 2 years later, she sent me a text message saying, I changed my mind. So when I got in touch with her and my person at Baylor Scott & White, she did not have insurance. So this was her way to get 2 years of everything. If anyone in here can get one person to get a kidney for me, and it doesn't have to match mine at all, they have what they call a chain. It could be 75 people way somewhere else, and they donate a kidney to someone and someone and someone and someone until I get mine. Please help me. Honestly, I don't want him to have a new wife. And honestly, I want my great-grandchild that I've never seen. She's 1. I've never seen her. And I have a son who was my firstborn and only son. I haven't seen him in almost 4 years because I'm at home all the time. If you have any way to help me do this, I promise you I will honor it and take care of it until the day I breathe my last breath. And for all of you with these, this is not just for me. We've sent this to several people. I've sent them out of state, out of town, out of the country. This is important to me. Do what your heart tells you to do. If you don't do anything, I'm grateful that I had a chance to talk about what I never want to talk about. Thank you. And is that my 3 minutes?
That's, honey, you're good. Do any of you have questions of Lillian, Steve?
I don't have a question, I have a comment.
Yes.
It had to be very hard for you to stand up here and say what you just said. And I think we're all grateful for that. But Lillian, listen to me now. Don't give up, okay? There's a donor out there somewhere. Don't give up. You keep fighting every day, okay? Thank you for coming.
But I'm not doing it for me. I'm doing it for my great-grandchildren, my children, and this man.
And
He
do it for yourself, Lillian, okay?
Baby, I've lived a
Yes,
wild
yes.
life. I don't care about me. I care about my people.
Anyone else have comments, questions?
Good luck. God bless.
Thank you. And
Okay,
pray
so-
for me.
So we use this card and we use this QR code, and this gives us all the information regarding the possibility of being a match for you. Is that
Yes,
correct? And
he
give-
made this in his office for
Okay.
almost a couple of months because Baylor Scott & White, you have to do certain things.
Okay.
And when I scanned it, I almost lost my breath.
Oh, okay.
This man has made this. The first stint on the first stint on the world.
Okay.
Do you know what a stent is that it goes in to make sure you have? This man got the first stent approved on planet Earth.
Wow.
So if it wasn't for him, I'd be dead, and he'd have a new wife, and I don't like that. I don't like it. That's it. I can't talk no more.
Thank you
If I-
so
if
much,
I
Lynn.
could
Thank you,
quickly
Patrick.
add, read the website, there's information there. Specifically look at the clinical symptoms, because even if we can't save Lillian Rose's life,
Okay.
all of you might be saved by knowing what the symptoms are. There are 95,000 people in this country in Lillian Rose's situation. During the course of this meeting, one of those 95,000 will die, 13 every day. The only reason is because can't find a kidney donor. The average wait time in Texas for a cadaver kidney, is 9 to 10 years. Right now, because she got on the list 3 years ago, for her, it's 5 to 7. You go on dialysis, your average lifespan is 5 years. Dialysis is great. It saves lives, extends lives. It's a bridge to transplant. Nothing more. And to donate a kidney, the risks are like any surgery, some chance of infection, some chance of bleeding. And even if there have been 5 deaths of a donor in this country in the last 10 years. That's 1 chance in 10,000. And when a mother gives birth, she has 2 chances in 10,000 of dying. So the least we can do. You know, if I'm going to ask my wife to have a child, I can take half that risk and save someone else's life.
Thank you so much, Patrick. We
Thank you.
appreciate you being here. Thank you
you
for
all.
being a
Thank
Trophy
you.
Club resident. Thank you so much. Thank you, Lillian. God bless you. Okay. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, anybody, any comments working for you?
Yes.
Thanks. What? Yes.
So I wanted to extend sincere appreciation to the Trophy Club Police Department, Chief Arata, and the Trophy Club Fire Department, Chief Wise. I did a ride-along this week, and it just reinforced what an experienced and professional police department we have. I was with Barry Sullivan and Odin. I was just sad we didn't get to chase somebody down with the dog. But at the same time, just means how safe our city is. And then Chief Wise in the fire department gave me a tour, and it was really very enlightening to understand how it works and to be able to obviously make decisions on budgets and things. It was helpful. And then I also attended the orientation at TML for new public officials, and there's lots of stuff coming down the line that we need to pay attention to. The state legislature is going to continue to put pressure on towns related to budgets and tax rates and all that kind of stuff. So it was valuable. I appreciate the town doing that, and hopefully it makes me more prepared to do a decent job as a councilman. So thank you very much.
Oh, good. Thank you. Thank you for that report. Thank you. Anybody else? I just have one comment to say. Thank you to everyone who will be driving the traffic around Bobcat. I want to say thank you to all parents, anyone who's been on Facebook that I have seen or in the neighborhood, in the town. You're the best. NISD, I spoke to the communication director the other night, and he was talking about how NISD also communicates to the parents regarding traffic. They too are very concerned about traffic making its way through these next 4 to 5 months. And so, you know what they say about goals, do you not? Everybody's made a goal. And what do? You picture that the traffic is flowing. It's flowing easily with less stopping. And I'm encouraging you to work together to achieve that goal. Thank you, parents. Thank you, students. Thank you for following the walking paths. It's a new walking path to get back into Medlin. Thank you, students. Have a great school year, because I think the schools are opening this week. Is that correct?
Wednesday.
Yes.
Wednesday. So this is a get ready. We appreciate you. Thank you.
I'm going to do mine from up here.
Wow,
Oh, no, I don't.
very official.
I know, exactly.
Fancy
Yeah, yeah,
today.
Wow.
yep.
Getting fancy.
So have you ever heard of the American Academy for Parks and Recreation Administration?
Yes.
Probably not, right? Not a lot of you have.
I heard about it on Facebook.
I heard about it,
Facebook, exactly.
heard about it this week.
Chase, come forward for a minute.
Come on,
So our
Chase.
very own Parks and Recreation Director, Chase Ellis, who is fantastic, does a tremendous job here in Trophy Club, was nominated and now accepted into one of the most prestigious and probably well sought after programs for Parks and Recreation officials here in Texas and across the entire country for it. And interestingly, the fact about this program, right? So they only have 100 fellows who are in this program who are practitioners, right? So those who are Parks and Recreation directors, you have to have at least 15 years of executive experience to be eligible for it. And they only put 100 people into this program in its entirety, meaning like it's not every year they put 100 in. They only have 100 people in it. So there's they only have an open seat when someone retires or passes away or something like that, right? So that's how, and so they'll have a couple extra seats that year, and they'll do nominations from around the country. And our very own Parks and Recreation Director, Chase Ellis, has been nominated for that and has been accepted into the 2026 class for that. So we are very, very proud of him here in Trophy Club. We love having him here in Trophy Club. He has made a tremendous impact on our parks programming for it. And I just wanted to say thank you to Chase for all that he does. He is a special addition here in Trophy Club, and it has really elevated our community and what our residents enjoy most about Trophy Club. So.
Yeah.
Chase,
Was there a
Chase, would
trophy
you
or
come up here and
something?
stand in front
No
of me?
certificate?
Hat? Oh, exactly.
If the council will come up here.
Sure,
and
yeah.
tamper this down.
No bunny ears. Perfect.
So, anybody have comments to Chase? Comments?
Congrats.
Congratulations.
Well done.
Hey, we don't have to give him more money, do we?
No, okay.
I beat you to that one, Dennis.
No, I was gonna say, he graduated now, he wears long pants with his suit coat?
Got new dress whites on, there you go, Chase.
Dress code for parks is always a little bit different.
Well, we appreciate you, Chase,
Good luck,
because you
Jake.
clearly
Good job.
made a big
Good job.
difference in our town.
Yep.
Thank you so much. All right, we'll go to the next civic, oh, Brandon.
Oh, I'm
did you
sorry. I
finish?
do have a
Yeah.
couple other items. I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
just realized. All
Very
that fun.
exciting.
Exactly.
Yep.
Not for the less interesting stuff. We do have boards and commissions meetings coming up. On August 12th, there's an Economic Development Corporation meeting at 6 p.m. On August 13th, our Planning and Zoning Commission will be meeting at 6 p.m. On August 17th, our Parks and Recreation Board will be meeting at 6 p.m. And on August 27th, our Arts Council will be meeting at 6 p.m. Okay, so 4 upcoming meetings, again, August 12th, 13th, 17th, and 27th. There's lots of information and agendas available online for those who would like to see that. And then as a reminder, we do have Breakfast with Tiffany coming up on Monday, August 17th, and it's, as always, the same location, the Starbucks there in Tom Thumb. That's all I have.
And the discussion item Monday will be,
Oh, I'm sorry, it will be the Parks and Recreation Center, the Community Center.
okay, good, thank you.
Yep.
We'll have parks people for those who might want to come
will,
on
yes.
Monday. Thank you. All right, civic tip.
All right, so you have an item on your agenda to accept the submittal of the tax rate calculations. So I want to read from the charter that one of the sovereign functions of the town council is to levy, assess, and collect taxes. And the tax rate shall be calculated, publicized, and adopted in accordance with state law. So that's in your charter. State law has a process in Tax Code Chapter 26, and there are several steps. One of the first steps is for the tax rate to be submitted to you. There's no public hearing for tonight. There's a public hearing that will be set later to adopt the tax rate, but tonight you're not adopting a tax rate.
Thank you.
Consent agenda. This part of the agenda consists of non-controversial or housekeeping items required by law. Items may be removed from consent by any council member by making such request prior to the motion and vote.
Is there a motion?
I motion to approve consent agenda items 4, 5, 6, and 7.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Steve seconds. All those in favor, raise your hand. All those opposed, motion passes.
Item 8, consider accepting the submission of the notice of a no new revenue tax rate of 0.413391 per 100 taxable valuation and a voter approval tax rate of 0.423905 per 100 taxable valuation for the fiscal year beginning on October 1, 2026 and ending September 30th, 2027, setting a public hearing on Monday, September 14th, 2026 at 7 p.m. for an ad valorem tax rate not to exceed 0.423905 per 100 taxable valuation for the fiscal year beginning on October 1, 2026 and ending on September 30th, 2027.
April?
Good evening, Mayor and council members. Tonight, I'll provide a brief overview of the proposed not-to-exceed property tax rate for fiscal year 2027. Texas law requires taxing entities to calculate and publish several property tax rates each year. The no new revenue rate is designed to generate approximately the same property tax revenue from existing properties as the prior year. The voter approval rate generally allows for growth in maintenance and operations revenue within limits established by state law. This is the one that's affected by that Senate Bill 2 that was passed, that we can only capture that 3.5% increase. And the de minimis rate, available to smaller taxing units, generally allows for up to an additional $500,000 in maintenance and operations revenue. These rates provide statutory reference points, but council ultimately determines the tax rate to adopt. The town's property tax rate consists of two components: maintenance and operations, or M&O, and interest and sinking, or INS. M&O funds the town's day-to-day services and operations, while INS pays principal and interest on debt it used primarily for long-term capital investments. For tonight's action, staff recommends establishing a proposed not-to-exceed tax rate of 0.423905, which represents the voter approval rate, and scheduling a public hearing for September 14th, 2026. Setting the not-to-exceed tax rate at this level preserves council's flexibility. It does not establish the final tax rate. It simply sets the maximum rate council may consider. Council's current direction remains to maintain the existing combined tax rate of 0.412864, which is below the proposed maximum. The key takeaway is that tonight's action preserves council's flexibility while maintaining the current direction of a flat tax rate. The final rate will be considered at the September 14th public hearing. That concludes my overview, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Any questions? Before you do, I would like to say thank you to our subcommittee, our finance subcommittee, and to Brandon and to April, the great work that you have done as a team to get us to this place where it looks like we're in pretty much in agreement. So just thank you for your professional work, being sure you're taking care of the town of Trophy Club and what you're doing. Thank you so much. Any other comments, questions, Steve?
Let me just echo what you said, Mayor. When we walked out of the meeting last time, we thought we were going to be just a wee tad bit short. Turns out that that wasn't the case as much. So April had to put on her magic hat and pen. And when we met as a subcommittee, she gave us 3 options to choose from. The outcome of that is where we're at tonight. So great work, April. Thank you for that. And thanks to the committee as well. Good job.
Well, hearing that, I'll move that we accept the submission of the notice of a no new revenue tax rate of $0.413391 per 100 taxable valuation and a voter approval tax rate of $0.423905 per $100 taxable valuation for the fiscal year beginning October 1, 2026 and ending September 30th, 2027, setting a public hearing on Monday, September 14th, 2026 at 7 p.m. for an ad valorem tax rate not to exceed $0.423905 per $100 of taxable valuation for the fiscal year beginning October 1st, 2026 and ending September 30th, 2027.
Rylan loves that rule.
Second.
I wanted.
All those in favor, raise your hand. Sean seconded that, please. That's a motion approved, and that's an adjournment.
7:23.
Moving on.
7:23.
Good work.
That's fast. That's fast.
Mouthful.
I'm glad you did that.
You have to repeat yourself.
Gazelle.